hear me, yeah.
No,
is Kevin there?
Yeah, you can hear it.
Yep.
Oh my God! That's so crazy.
Today's episode is brought to you by Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app. Jackpocket. Jackpocket right on your phone. Bro, gone are the days of going to the store, paying with cash, and getting a paper ticket with numbers written out that you then have to check on the television. What is this? The 1400s, bro? All you got to do is download Jackpocket right on your phone. Now you can buy tickets directly on your iPhone. Look, Powerball's at 183 million. The Mega Millions is at 145 million. Watch this. All you got to do, order now. I'll go with the $2 pick. Place order. Confirm. Done. Face ID. And I got my order. I'm ready to rock. You can get involved with the Powerball or the Mega Millions right now by using promo code KFC. You get a free ticket to either the Mega Millions or the Powerball. Upwards of $400 million in jackpots available right now, and you can get your tickets for free with that promo code KFC. Also, in certain states, they now have scratch tickets available. So if you like that scratch instant gratification, you can get that digitally as well now through Jackpocket, available in certain states. Scratch it off on your phone. You can get your winnings instantly, and so you can scratch that itch all right in the app, right in your pocket. Download the Jackpocket app today. Use promo code KFC to get your free Mega Millions and Powerball tickets. Get your scratch tickets if you're available in certain states. Terms and conditions apply. All right, let's do it. It's another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network. Very special Love is Blind edition of the podcast. We are the first people ever, aside from the Love is Blind contestants, to be inside the pods.
Participants.
The first time that two people have ever been in a pod together at the same time. We have Jackie and Feitelberg on one side of the pod and me on the other side of the wall. So we're going to do a first ever pod within the pod and bring you KFC Radio Love is Blind style. I'm geeking out. This is to me, this is like, you know, Star Wars nerds getting to see the Star Wars set or something like that. This is my guilty pleasure. I'm not even guilty about it. It's just my pleasure. I love this goddamn show. Season 8 out now, the first 6 episodes, and I am like Mr. Love is Blind. So this to me is a bucket list that I didn't even know I had. The fact that I get to drink out of the Love is Blind golden goblets while I'm sitting on the Love is Blind couch talking to you guys through the wall is maybe peak Barstool for me.
This is a sharp, stark reminder, I guess, that we do not work in the entertainment industry. Like, I guess you would consider, I'd call like Barstool like the media, or I don't know, I guess kind of it would be entertainment industry. And then you see this and you're like, I work in my mom's basement.
100%. The blogger, podcaster stereotype is so true. This is like, these guys are the real deal. They're asking us all questions. I'm like, I don't know. We're just going to talk to each other.
I've been hiding for a half hour. Just terrified someone's going to ask me a question.
I've never been so nervous to walk down a hallway before.
This is like also as a producer, like that's a fake title for me. Like these are real producers. I don't do shit.
We'll get into our show. We'll talk a little bit as Love is Blind, but we're also going to do our regular podcast. I have a question. Are either of you nervous you're going to fall in love with me? Listen, it could happen to either of you. Jackie or Feitelberg.
Yeah.
Maybe, we're in the setting. There's the twinkly lights. The mood lighting's on. I'm going to get cozy on the couch. All of a sudden, you start spilling your guts a little bit. Maybe we'll have a little inter-KFC romance, more so than already exists with me and Feitelberg.
I wonder because apparently like social anxiety, it's a big thing to like you have to see somebody's face in order to connect with them. So I'm always like, I don't think Love is Blind would work for me because I have immense amount of social anxiety. But like I could see now how you get swept up in it, how it's just like conversation.
Well, yeah, you're shallow and materialistic.
Yeah.
You want to, like the dude from the thrift shop, if he was not hot, you would not be gushing about him. By the way, we have an update on that. We'll get to that in a little bit. This is kind of COVID times for me, though. That's what this reminds me of. It's not quite because, like, you can't see anything, but the idea of, like, I mean, everybody was kind of doing that stuff through Zoom, but it was like you're in your own home, you're isolated, but you're still, people were either going on, like, not dates, but they were talking to people who they were hooking up with, or there was like the happy hours or whatever. And I loved that time of life. So I think I would crush Love is Blind. I don't know if I would find somebody and all that, but just like the hang out in here and talk for several hours, I think I could do that.
What are you wearing?
Well, wouldn't you like to know?
Well, like I am picturing it in my head. You are naked as fuck, dude.
Well, I mean, I'm about to get fully
Oh
cozy.
my
I feel
God,
like
you guys want the room?
Like I don't know why I can't stop thinking about it, but
see, I told you someone's gonna fall in love.
I'm like I'm like Kevin's over there naked eating yogurt raisins or whatever they got over here. It's like Kevin's living the dream. I got boned being in a room with fucking Jackie. Kevin.
Yeah, they got all sorts of snacks in here. They got I didn't realize they got the liquor. They got the whiskey, the vodka, the tequila.
Jackie had 3 shots when we first got here.
I saw her do 2 more. I think she's 5 shots in. So we're out in LA. What should we start with? You want to dive right into Feitelberg? Should we just recap kind of the whole trip? I got a few thoughts on our LA trip.
Yeah, you go.
Well, actually, this ties in nicely. So, oddly enough, flying out to LA, I don't know how this is possible. I think it was the first time me and Feitelberg ever sat next to each other on a plane. We've been doing this for 15 years, flying, traveling all over the place. Every single time I get on a plane, he's always like 2 or 3 rows in front of me. He's behind me. We're never sitting together. First time we ever have sat next to each other. It makes no sense. I don't know how that's like statistically possible. We were giggling and laughing. We were just palling it up. Right
Yeah, when I walked by, you guys were so cute next to each other.
I'm telling you, there's going to be a love connection, John. We're going to walk out of here being like, wait a minute. I'm gay for John. They got to do a Love is Blind gay thing next. That's got to be. That's just sitting there. That one's free for you guys. Why don't you dig that out?
This has been a dry run, is what's happening right now. We'll see what happens if you make 2 ugly guys fall in love.
Now, one of the most famous Love is Blind moments was Chelsea and Jimmy, where Chelsea made the fatal choice to tell Jimmy that her celebrity doppelganger was Megan Fox, which was not a good idea. She's a pretty girl, and even when people do see it, they go, oh, I kind of get it. The eyes are pretty, and, the forehead. There's a little bit of resemblance. When you are on a dating show, particularly where you cannot see each other and you have to visualize what the other person looks like, and you are a red-blooded American man who is between the ages of like 18 and 1,000, and you tell him that you look like Megan Fox, that's only gonna make them think one thing. I mean, that was a crazy choice. Even if you actually really did look a lot like Megan Fox, there's no way I'm putting that bar up there. Because when that wall raises and you just look like a normal girl who kind of looks like Megan Fox, you're fucked. So,
but I watched that and I stand by it. He asked, what celebrity do you look like? And she's probably been told, people will tell me I've never gotten what like a celebrity look like, except one person said Shailene Woodley. So I don't look at all like Shailene Woodley. But if somebody asked, I would be like, I guess if I had to pick one to give you, I probably wouldn't actually say that.
Well, that's my point.
I could see how it's like, you asked the question, she answered the question.
Yes, and
she's
she
gorgeous.
also, if you go back and watch,
she does look like Megan Fox, kind of.
She throws out like a ton of disclaimers where she's like, not really, but I'm just saying a couple times on the plane and like in this restaurant or whatever it was, like a couple people have said it to me. So she tries to like disclaimer and soften it as much as possible. But the point remains that if I said that to you in just like in a regular conversation, and you can look at me and go, oh, okay, I kind of see it, but you probably shouldn't run around telling people that. It's one thing. It's another thing if you're falling in love and you're flirting and you're talking, and now all of a sudden you think that this girl looks like Megan Fox, you're like, I hit the lottery. This is it.
Because
like,
when someone says Megan Fox, you're picturing the FHM photo shoot on the other side of the door.
You're picturing Transformers Megan Fox, under the hood, the booty shorts, the orange tank top. She's like, it's not that she also just said my celebrity look like is a hot celebrity girl. It's like an iconic girl.
Well, that's the important word right there, because I was going to say iconic, because when you say Michael Jordan, I'm not picturing him on the Wizards, not that Megan Fox has a Wizards era.
Exactly.
When you say Tom Brady, I'm not picturing him on the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, on the Bucks. I'm picturing him in his iconic moments. Mm-hmm. And if you say Megan Fox, she's got a few iconic moments.
To me, there's like a Mount Rushmore of girls who were like a clear-cut number one in their time. And I actually think I might have to extend it now beyond just 4 because I think I would actually say Sydney Sweeney's a new one. But I think Pamela Anderson, Baywatch era, 90s. Britney Spears when she came on the scene. Megan Fox. And then there's, who's like one after? Maybe like a Margot Robbie? Maybe a...
Yeah, I was going to say Robbie didn't have an iconic moment, but Wolf of Wall Street.
That was it.
Yeah.
If you have to like close your eyes and be able to think of like a thing that everybody would agree upon. And I don't know exactly which one it is for Sydney Sweeney, but I think she's reached that moment. I think she's reached that level where, you know what it really is? Once there's a viral moment where the internet is calling you mid, that's when you know. That's when you know you're actually like the hottest person in the world. That's the biggest compliment you can get.
Do people do that for Megan Fox?
No, because she was like pre.
Oh yeah.
Now that's really only Margot Robbie and Sydney Sweeney who have done it. But when you say any of those names, if you ran around Jackie being like, somebody told me I like Margot Robbie, well, people are gonna think a certain thing. I can't even imagine. Again, she was a pretty girl. I think they're all on good terms now, as far as I know. But like, the wall goes up, and you're like, well, you fucking lied to me. That is gotta be.
It's just hitting me how Jackie's is so perfect that, like, Jackie's doppelganger. Jackie's like, don't get the bar too high. Is I look like the girl Aaron Rodgers didn't marry because she smelled. Aaron Rodgers was like, this girl stinks.
Wait, is that why?
I mean, that was. I'm sure it's not actual truth, but it was. I didn't make it up myself. It was like a rumor.
I mean, Shailene Woodley is.
She had bad hygiene.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's one of those like crunchy, hippy dippy types.
Okay, well, I still would be very lucky if somebody's whatever.
By the way, Feitelberg, I have officially taken off a piece of clothing.
Yeah, well, I was getting there too, but I'm too entranced now. We're in California. I assume the participants can smoke weed. I don't know.
I'm not sure what the rules are. That's a good question. By the way, that's a little.
I'm just entranced by this wall. Like if I
if you were stoned,
like I'm not high currently, and if I was high, I'd fall in love with whoever was on the other side of it.
So this is the Love is Blind episode. Season 8 is now available on Netflix. The first 6 episodes dropped on Valentine's Day, and every Friday they're dropping 2 new episodes until we get through to the big reunion episode with Nick Lachey and Vanessa Lachey. Now, a couple highlights. I'm going to bring you, as we go through the episode, I'm going to be dropping highlights from this season of Season 8. You should go check it out. The number one reason you got to watch this year is Madison. At least for the first 6 episodes, this chick is an absolute rocket and bulldozing her way through this show. I mean, she's just surrounded by these wholesome Minneapolis, Minnesota, Midwest guys who have no idea how to handle a chick of her caliber. This girl is tatted up, and there's a lot going on with Madison. She's one of the number one reasons to check out Season 8. So tune in. The first 6 episodes are already available, and every single week, 2 more are coming out. Season 8 on Love is Blind. Check it out now. But it's like when you find out that the Home Alone house is a soundstage and not a house. I was like, oh, yeah, of course. This is a major production.
Or Jim and Pam's engagement, which we just talked about.
That is one of my favorite little... That actually inspired me. I'm trying... the next thing I'm going to try to do is make themed versions of 1 Minute Man. I'll still do 1 Minute Man where I just do the news, but then I want to do one for video games. I want to do one for... television entertainment, and that one made me be like, this is such an interesting little tidbit that like I want to make a video about this. The fact that the most iconic shot of The Office, Jim and Pam's proposal on the turnpike, was a $250,000 shot where they just recreated the entire New Jersey Turnpike in a Best Buy parking lot.
Oh, what? I didn't know that.
The shot it's from across the street. So you see all the cars whizzing by, and it's like a long distance shot of him getting down on one knee. I think it's raining or wet or whatever. Raining. And I just thought they roped off the New Jersey Turnpike for like a couple hours, which again, I guess is stupid. But wow, to build that is like insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like 18-wheelers on it. Was they built like an oval track around it. So cars were just going 55 around constantly. And Jim and Pam could like feel the wind off the cars because it was just this tiny little thing in a parking lot.
I'm actually surprised. That almost feels cheap, $250, knowing how big of a production it was.
Yeah.
Kevin, remember your phase where you just only say movie magic facts or whatever? You should bring
Yes,
that back.
So my thing about the movie facts 1 minute man is going to be, I'm starting to think all of these are fake. I really think that all these guys are like, hey man, we'll go viral if you just say that was unscripted. They just did it for Denzel in Training Day. That it's actually pretty funny that he said that every single time he called Ethan Hawke the N-word, he was just ad-libbing it. But there was a whole bunch of like his King Kong speech and a lot of his things they all said was ad-libbed, and I'm like, I mean, maybe you are talking about these guys are like the best of the best, so maybe they do all ad-lib it, but it just seems a little suspicious that all of a sudden every single movie has a moment like that.
But that doesn't surprise me at all.
Well,
Like,
I guess
you're
you
talking about,
guys would know.
crazy
How much
talented
do
people
you-
who are working for like 3 months, and in those 3 months they have one crazy moment. I think that's understandable.
How often are you guys ad-libbing on Out of Order and stuff?
Very often.
Yeah, right. So if you chumps are doing it, that's sure Denzel is. But anyway, to go back to Celebrity Doppelganger, Feitelberg was getting settled to sit down on his seat in the plane. By the way, we got the good seats, the first class to turn into a bed. Oh, mama.
Kevin was out before the plane took off.
Out like a light, man. I was supposed to be with my kids this weekend, so I didn't have them. So I had them all week leading up to it, getting up 6 a.m. to get them to school. Oh, nightmare. I was like, I'm going to bed, baby. That was the best sleep I've had in a while. But Feitelberg getting settled, took off his hat and kind of like pushed his hair forward and transformed into Ed Sheeran. I mean,
I just did it again. You can't see me because
Yeah, I
love
bet.
is blind. But
I mean-
right over here is I froze. I was trying to think of an Ed Sheeran song. I'm a Sheeran head
Isn't he the
too.
song-
what was the song you danced to your dog with?
That was Thinking Out Loud.
Great song,
I'm
great
just
moment. That
thinking-
moment makes me cry. Have you ever seen that, Jackie?
No.
Feitelberg at the Barstool
Yes.
Dog show. We all had to do like a Westminster Dog type thing where you have to perform with your pup, and he slow danced with his dog to Ed Sheeran, and then he had to like put her down.
Both those dogs are dead now, so cry harder.
Yeah, but when you were dancing with her, didn't you know it was almost time?
Yeah, she was
so
very
that was
old.
like a real moment.
I'm going through a thing with dogs right now where they like really don't fuck with me.
Sort of like keep going.
Dogs kind of never like. It's something I haven't really wanted to like address, like be honest with myself about. But like, dogs really don't like me, and the past 3 have like growled at me, and their owners are like, "Oh my god, they like normally don't do that," which is like 3 in a row is kind of a bad like, three-peat to have, and it really is getting in my head because I feel like dogs liking you is like the telltale sign that you're like a good person. So it makes me feel like maybe have like a bad, I don't know.
Well, yeah, in this dog-led America, if you're not liked by the dogs, you are trash.
Yeah. So
Like, to be honest, if you were doing Love is Blind and you told somebody dogs don't like me, you would probably get X'd off their
like
list.
it's a major red flag that I understand and but I don't know how to fix it. Like they're not giving me because they can't talk.
Yeah, they definitely can't talk. That is true.
definitely can't.
Dogs can't give you
I keep
feedback.
asking them, but they're tight-lipped about it.
Kind of like we're in a standstill right now.
Maybe you smell bad.
Shailene Woodley.
Yeah.
I literally am there.
There you go.
Do you put forth too much effort?
Yeah, so I think part of my problem is like I love them so much and I shriek a little bit. They don't like the high pitched noise. They don't like the energy. I think I come with kind of an intense energy that's kind of like, I want to squeeze them and they can tell that I'm like about to squeeze them.
You're like a grandmother. It's like, all right, enough.
Yeah, exactly. So, but then I've tried to come at them more chill. Like I'm kind of just like, I don't give a fuck if you like me or not. But they can still sense it.
She's like, Jackie, I'm more of a cat lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
they know.
Lord knows if you make some of those noises that you make, like the one you make when you're laughing, like dogs would be like, this thing is not human. I don't know what this animal is.
What about get a dog whistle and silently, like sneaky, until your friends
Yeah.
don't see it. You're just like, "Foo, foo," and the dog comes like, I don't know what's happening. They just started falling in love with me.
Yeah.
Maybe
Treats in my pocket.
Treats in your pocket is exactly what
Peanut
I was
butter.
gonna say.
Yeah. Okay.
A Kong bar.
If you just keep peanut butter on a spoon in your
Yeah,
pocket.
yeah.
Dude, I've been eating peanut butter off spoons lately. That was a good move.
Oh,
Mm.
I mean,
I
yeah.
just take it to bed. I leave it on my nightstand. And I
dude,
just
that
wake up
is
and lick
like one of my all-time favorite snacks. Just spoons of peanut butter.
It's great.
What do you mean you keep it on your bedside table?
Like before I go to bed, I grab a spoon and I grab a big thing of peanut butter and I walk to bed licking like a lollipop.
But do you bring the peanut butter into bed or just the...
Just the spoon. I got to limit myself.
Well, don't act like you're above that because Jackie...
Oh, no.
He comes down to breakfast this morning,
Oh.
opens up his backpack. By the way, Feitelberg travels with a backpack that is Hank's backpack from the Barstool Blackout Tour, which not only means it's 10 plus years old, it means that has seen things, substances, smells, fluids, cities that you should not be carrying that around. But
I would imagine a lot of weed has been in that backpack.
I was going to do it for the adrenaline rush every time I go through TSA. I'm going to find something.
he opens up that old dusty-ass backpack and pulls out a soaking wet hoodie.
Ew.
And says, he goes, honestly, never have you had more of a Charlie Kelly moment than that. You were like disheveled, like you ordered your breakfast, you pull out a wet sweatshirt and you go, I gotta hang this up, I gotta dry it. I've been shooting it with a hair dryer for the last hour. And I'm like, what is going on? He goes, well, John, you want to tell him why? Tell him what happened.
So Paul Brown, the guy whose room I'm staying in.
Wait, yeah, we gotta tell the whole story then, actually.
So I don't know. I'm staying in some other guy's room. I don't know.
We're on the way home last night, dude. We're so tired. We're all a little drunk. He's high. We're fucked up. And John just goes, so I'm in my hotel room and there's an orange and an apple for Mr. Patrick Brown. And me, Pabs, and Jackie in the back seat, I was like, what the fuck did you just say? He's like, yeah, my orange and apple for Mr. Patrick Brown. And I was like, are you on the planet Earth right now? What are you saying? He thought it was so normal that there was just random stray fruit in his room assigned to someone named Mr. Patrick Brown. You're just in someone else's hotel room, dude.
He said, I have an apple and an orange, pause. But it's from Mr. Patrick Brown.
Mr. Patrick Brown is going to go down in history, man. I'm going to call you Mr. Patrick Brown forever.
We never got an answer. We're out of the hotel. Some guy never came in, but I don't know. The room was labeled for someone else, but my key worked on the door. So I don't know what to do. But there was an apple and an orange and a note to Mr. Paul Brown. I said Patrick last night, but when I got to the room, I realized it was for Paul. And under the note, I finally picked it up last night after I took the picture to send to you guys. And under the note was chocolates. And I was like, well, now we're speaking my language.
For Patrick Brown.
But I fell asleep right away when we got to the room, like immediately, and woke up with needing a sugar fix, probably around 3 a.m. Knew I had the chocolates. Went over, I guess. I know all this is just speculation.
And the fact that he doesn't know is crazy.
Grabbed some chocolate, ate a little bit, but then just fell asleep with the rest on me. And I woke up and I was just covered in chocolate.
What?
I was just covered in chocolate.
You're always covered in chocolate, though. It's like
always.
It's got to be an easy fix. Like that can't be that hard to wake up without chocolate.
Look, when I go to bed, I'm not like, all right, so I'll get up and I'll get some snacks. It's just happening. It's a thing that's happening to me. You guys should be more like sympathetic.
Yeah, you know what? You have like an affliction.
It's just happening.
This is like a
You're
disease.
covered in chocolate. I'm covered in peanut butter. All together. Kevin, you got to pick a condiment. You're covered in.
But so then that was like probably 3 a.m., right? 6 a.m. I wake up. I go take a piss in the bathroom. And as I'm walking out of the bathroom, I catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror. And I was like, the fuck is that? And I turn around and I'm it's just chocolate everywhere.
So then you washed it in the sink.
Like, you want to talk about a hard wake up. I've had some hard wake ups in my day. The chocolate wake ups are about as bad as they get.
What? Dude, the fact that like capital C, capital W, chocolate wake up is like a phrase for you.
Like, because I'm not even mad at myself. Like, when I wake up hungover and shit like that, I'm like, John, you decided to do all this. Live with the consequences of your actions.
It's one thing when you were doing it when you were 25. You actually had a reason. The fact that you're doing it at 35 when you're sober is worse.
I'm like the most insane kind of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, where it's like at night I turn into this new man and he just fucking loves sugar.
Bro, thank God. Thank God, because you would literally
I
be.
said I'm a worse version of a guy who goes out like killing people.
Yeah.
Like, I have a couple candy bars.
Thank God you're somewhat regular and adjusted. Otherwise, you probably would just be killing people at night. Freak. Imagine that you're on Love is Blind. You're like, so in the middle of the night, I can't control myself. Might range anywhere from
That's actually
sleeping
a
in chocolate to
crazy
murdering
point.
someone. I don't know.
Like just talking to the other person like it's a podcast. Like, yeah, so I'm in Patrick Brown's room, and that was another fear though. Like as I was going to sleep, I was like, I don't know if another guy's coming into this room. I don't know if I'm splitting his bed.
For some reason, also the visual, the picture that you sent, because you described it as there's one apple, one orange, and like a long plate. But I was picturing like they probably, if they're having a fruit assortment for Mr. Patrick Brown, like it's probably like it probably looks pretty. That's exactly how it's described. Like it was exactly what you
Stray
said.
fruit.
I think what realistically happened
There was more fruit.
is that
Mr.
Paul
Patrick
Brown
was-
had checked out of the room, took a fruit on his way out the door, and then they didn't clean it. And then I just slept in his bed. and then I got a couple chocolate stains in his bed. I think that's what happened last night.
Why didn't we all get fruit though?
Well, we're not all
We're not Mr.
VIPs
Patrick Brown.
like Paul Brown. Yeah.
He might be, big shot for all we know. Little update since we're by the way.
wait. Sorry, I wanted to say we somehow I skipped past it, but with the Ed Sheeran stuff, a funny story that happened. I don't shy away from the Ed Sheeran lookalikes. I think I do. I think they're accurate. I think it's a pretty solid doppelganger for me. I think I'd like a better one, but what's accurate is what's accurate.
Well, you know what the thing is? The worst part about Ed Sheeran is his hair, and that's where you are not alike. So that's kind of like, yeah, all right, I'm Ed Sheeran with a great head of hair. That's a big difference. That's like Ed Sheeran goes up like 5 points if he has your hair.
It's a big difference, but it's not like I'm Jason Statham with a head of hair. Like,
True. Yeah, there's still better
there
people
are
than
other guys with heads of hair that would be better to look like.
Yeah, he's still a hobbit. Right.
I could see him not smelling great too.
Oh, he looks like he stinks.
Yeah.
He's so rich that he's, probably smells delicious, but
Yeah.
he looks like he stinks.
He's also the fucking man. Like I'm
The
a
best.
Sheeran head. I froze. I got the pressure of Netflix cameras on me. I froze when it came to Ed Sheeran time. But I'm a big Sheeran head.
So then I also take back my smelling bad comment. I feel like he smells great.
No.
I'm just
Listen,
looking.
stop lying. He's not going to watch.
Okay.
He looks like he smells. He is the man. By the way, his albums, that album, number 6 Collaborations, is the most underrated album of all time. in my
All his
life.
albums are great. Every time he drops an album, I go, I gotta stop. Because whenever people ask, like, not that it's always happening, but people just go, oh, what kind of music do you like? What kind of artist do you like? I never say Ed Sheeran. And I think that's a disservice and a disrespect.
I don't
to
think
Ed
anybody
Sheeran.
does. I think that it sucks for him. In a way, it's kind of cool because he's a megastar without being like, I don't think there are people online hating on him the way they like hate on Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
So in that regard, it's good. But it's like he has as many hits as anybody. I watched the video of Benny Blanco, Benny Blanco talking about how him and Ed Sheeran wrote Bieber's "Love Yourself," and it was like kind of an accident. They just stumbled into it, and Ed Sheeran was like, I have this ex, but I don't want to write a song to give her satisfaction. And Benny Blanco was like, that's the song. Do that. And then they just riffed, and it was done like 10 minutes later. And they handed it to Bieber, and it's like, it was awesome. It was so cool to watch the way that it goes down like that. I was like, oh man, that's movie magic.
Yeah,
I
I was
probably
just
made
gonna say.
Probably made it up.
Have you ever seen Justin Bieber doing like the symphony or whatever?
Where he's conducting?
Yeah, he's conducting.
Yeah.
I
Very
was
cool.
like, wow, respect
cool.
earned. You're talented.
Yeah, no, he's the man. Those guys are all awesome. They're all fucking so cool.
There was a time it was game 6, game 7 maybe, I think 7 of the second round of the NHL playoffs. Bruins were playing the Islanders. I'm at the game last game at the Coliseum, I believe, on Long Island, and it was me, Stu Feiner, Frankie Borelli, Mr. Borelli, Marina. I think that was it. And the Coliseum, if you don't know, if you haven't been, had the worst bathroom situation in the world.
In the world.
Like you had to miss a whole period to go to the bathroom. And I think there were 2 bathrooms like in the whole arena. Obviously more toilets, but I think they were literally, or at least on the main concourse. And I go out to the bathroom for in between periods. long line. And I'm standing in line, and like a good amount of stoolies are coming up and taking pictures with me and all that good stuff. And finally, the guy in front of me just snaps, and he just turns around and he just goes, "Who the fuck are you, Ed Sheeran?" And I was like, "Come on, man."
It's fucking
I mean,
great.
see, that was it. I just did it again. Without even thinking. I disrespected Ed Sheeran, and I'm done with it. That's it. That's the last time. It's the last time I disrespected Ed Sheeran.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think we can give all the details, but Caleb and Glennie did Sunday Conversation with him, and they had a night with him. And like the details of that night out are exactly what you would want if you went out with like your celebrity hero. He's the opposite of never meet your heroes. If you get the chance to meet Ed Sheeran and party with him, fucking do it.
Yeah, that's good advice for everybody.
Yeah. Like there's a bunch of people out there turning it
Ed
down.
Sheeran ever wants to throw a couple back. You should do it.
Now I'm like disappointed that we just have his doppelganger. They kind of look alike.
By the way, while we're talking about celebrities, here's a fucking $1 billion idea. Netflix, if you're listening. Every other show, Traders and Apprentice and all that, they all do celebrity versions of their show. Celebrity Love is Blind. I guess you'd have to like change their voices too because you would know who their voices are.
Ooh.
But if you got to watch two celebrities talking to each other and not realize who they were, and they might fall in love, all of a sudden the thing goes up and it's like Justin Bieber's gonna marry blah blah blah. That'd be insane.
Wait, brilliant.
Brilliant, right?
Whoa.
You're covering your mic.
Sorry. Thank you.
Come on, Jack. By the way, you said if you're listening. There's like 100 people listening.
Yeah.
I've been so stressed this whole time. I think.
Wait,
No,
I can see how
I've
it's
totally
like, I kinda
lost.
forget.
Like I'm like disconnected from reality in this pod. As far as I'm concerned, it's just the three of us falling in love. Maybe we'll be a throuple. Who knows? While we are talking about love, Jackie's future husband, thrift shop guy.
I don't want to talk about it.
Well, too late.
I don't want to talk about it.
I gotta be honest. I think Pavs really did Jackie dirty on this one.
I don't trust the way the Pavs asked.
Well, I don't think he should have. So, okay, for people
But
who don't know, Jackie went to this thrift store. Guy who works the counter, apparently gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Jackie also bought a great jacket.
Great jacket.
Jack-
All-time
great
great jacket.
jacket.
There is no better purchase than a good jacket.
It reminds me of there was like a time like a couple months ago I was walking down the street and a guy had on like the perfectly worn leather jacket. Like you could tell it was probably 20, 30 years old. And I genuinely considered just being like, "Yo, can I buy that off you?" And
That's like when Dave bought his blue suede jacket. I was like, "Can I? Like, I need that. I'm gonna take it from you." It was like $5,000. That's why. I mean, there's the Seinfeld episode about it. It's like a jacket is a life changer.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though, here's what I'm realizing is, for some reason, whenever I picture like my cool older self, I'm wearing like a cool like slouchy leather jacket, like cool jeans, whatever. So I'm realizing now that the interaction wasn't about the hot guy because I was so swept up in the hot guy that I didn't realize I had bought my dream jacket to become my dream person.
Oh wow,
And so
that's
it
deep.
wasn't even about him. He was just, you know.
You just have to
Okay,
He just happened to be
so
there.
the fact that you subsequently went back and then stalked him from a distance a
Okay,
couple other
that-
times
yeah.
and talked about it on a podcast has nothing to do with him?
No. Okay, first of all, to be clear, I would sometimes peer in the window to see if he was there, but I wasn't like stalking him. I would just I have to pass
Dude,
Don't- let
peering
me
in
tell
a
you
window is the
something.
definition of stalking.
I didn't. If you're gonna say like I was not stalking someone as your lawyer, I would advise you to drop the word.
Drop the word peering.
Yeah.
Drop
The
the
only
word
thing worse than peering is leering. Like,
Okay,
you-
sorry,
those are
sorry,
those are
sorry.
the telltale signs you're stalking.
Okay, that street, I have to pass that street anyways. So is it illegal to look in a window that he might be in?
Yeah, it's not illegal. You're just a creep.
Okay, well, whatever. Turns out I could have sworn that he was flirting with me. Now looking back on it, he just wanted to sell me the jacket.
Well, so
Like,
Pat, so
you got
oddly
you,
enough,
what you got reversed. That happens to men all the time.
all the
Yeah.
time.
right. Like this waitress loves me. This bartender
Yes.
loves me. This stripper loves
Yes.
me.
Yeah.
No, they don't. They're just
Welcome
doing
to
their
our
job.
life, bitch.
Damn.
But what are the chances that Jackie finds this guy,
Yeah.
falls in love with him, all of a sudden Pavs' buddies who are this up and coming band are shooting a music video there. RC Drive, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
More in
RC
the
Drive,
moment.
like Pavs' childhood friends, they're about to like truly, genuinely blow up, which is awesome, by the way. And they're like, we're gonna shoot a music video. We need to shoot at a thrift shop, and they pick this one. And Pavs is on set with this guy for like 8 hours, And so right there, that's crazy. It's just like, wow, what a small world. We live in a simulation. What are the chances? Paz goes up to him and is like, hey, how about that girl who's been buying those jackets, you know? And he's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
To be clear, I had told Pabs, I was like, hey, if you could casually name drop.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
different. I thought,
But,
because
like,
if
I
he
didn't
just did that
actually
on his own, I think that's a little bit
No.
forward.
I had been, but I didn't actually think he was, because I was like, there's no natural way to do that. But I wanted to see. I was like, obviously, like, oh my God, maybe this is the world bringing us together. Turns out it's not. Turns out the guy. So then you can continue.
Well, I just never have seen somebody cope harder than when Jackie was like, here's the thing. Pav said to him, it's the girl who bought 2 jackets, but I've only bought 1 jacket. So I think that's why he was confused and didn't remember me. And I was like, okay, babe, yeah, that's why he didn't remember you.
Paz, you should have just gone with any hotties been in here in the last week or so.
Also, to be clear, I've been looking pretty gross every time I've seen him.
Anybody, any like Shailene Woodley types who like wear meat sweatshirts and
Okay, I don't even think that we explained it. So basically, Pab said, hey, like, I think my friend Jackie was actually here. She like bought like 2 leather jackets or whatever. Again, 2 leather jackets. I only bought 1. So that's where probably he got confused. Yeah. And he said, no, I have no idea what you're talking about. So either he's lying and he just wants to keep me all, you know, he just...
Oh, he's playing hard to get?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like,
okay.
he wants me to come in. He doesn't want to talk to, like, my... to Pavs about me. He wants me to come in.
Yeah, no, he's seeing such an easy street to link up that he's avoiding it. He's like, that would make finding my love.
He wants me to lurk in that window. I'll lurk back in that window.
Maybe you're like the lurker.
We're watching Jackie just slowly descend into like he's playing hard to get. I just gotta keep stalking him a little bit.
Yeah.
You know how like girls always have nicknames for the guys they're talking to? You might be like the lurker. He's like, oh, lurker's back. See her in the window? Yeah, there
I
she
was just
is
gonna say
again.
it's whatever the opposite of Love Is Blind is. It's like me just staring in the window.
He is the opposite of a Matt Lauer button. He just hits under his desk to lock it. He's like a big closed sign falls on the door.
Okay, I don't like this picture that we're painting for me.
All right, the second biggest storyline in the early episodes of Love Is Blind is this guy, David. Now, David he's like he said he's in like Botox and like lip filler industry, but he's not a doctor because he would have just said, I'm a fucking doctor. So he works like, he's probably like a secretary in one of these offices, right? Anyway, he's talking about how he's so shallow and he's used to hot chicks and he's getting to know this one girl. And I swear to God, the only thing this guy can talk about is his goddamn sister. So tune into David. He was supposed to be your stereotypical villain. But you will see in the later episodes, since I got a couple of advanced screenings, that David, if you're watching, actually ends up being the furthest thing from a villain. He is involved in a much more sympathetic situation than you would realize. So I actually don't think he's the bad guy. In this case, I think he's kind of the sympathetic figure. It's definitely a dicey predicament for someone in a reality TV show dating. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but if you're in a dating show and this happens to you, you would definitely be like, what the fuck? How am I supposed to handle this? So if you've already watched those first 6 episodes, definitely tune in for more because things get precarious with David and Lauren. Tune in on Netflix. Season 8 of Love Is Blind out now. Listen, whether you found your lover through a reality TV show where you're not allowed to see them and you're talking through a wall, or maybe you're cozied up next to your man or woman while you watch Season 8 of Love Is Blind, no matter what, if you're going to be in the bedroom and you're going to be getting it on, you got to make sure that you rise to the occasion and that you last for the occasion. And that's where Eroxon comes in. Eroxon is the #1 way for you to get and maintain your best erection for when it's time to get down. So if you are over the age of 18, 1 in 4 men suffer from some sort of ED. It's totally common. It's not taboo anymore. It's just something that, listen, dicks are fickle, okay? Fickle dicks. Fickle dicks are, pickle dicks. It's hard to work with fickle dicks. And I know that the ladies want it, and I know the guys want their dick to not be fickle, but guess what? They're fickle. Your pickle's fickle. And in order to make your pickle not fickle, you got to get Eroxon because it gives you that extra boost and that extra confidence, not only mentally, but physically. It's getting the job done. These are... it's the first ever ED treatment gel. So you can get it over the counter, and it's not a pill. You don't have to put it in your body. Nothing's going in your blood. It's just a gel that goes right on your fickle dick and can help you perform and last longer. Right now, go to eroxon.us, EROXON.us to get to learn more about getting your best erection in the bedroom and making sure that fickle dick ain't so fickle pickle. Go to eroxon.us today to learn and try.
This is a production note, 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So,
Producer.
Let's get to the real story. We get into LA. We're here for like basically 36 hours. We land yesterday. We're doing this today, and in the meantime, we decide we're gonna go out. Our buddy Steve Fury, very funny comedian. He's going up at the store.
Improv.
Oh, the Improv. Sorry, at the Improv, and we're like, all right, let's go see Steve. So we go out early for a beer, and then we're gonna go see his set. Feitelberg gets a text from another one of our buddies, who's a comic, Michael Turner, who's doing a Don't Tell comedy pop-up at a CrossFit gym, like one of these alternative spots. They rent it out, they set up the chairs, BYOB, and you go see a night of comedy. Turner texts Feitelberg, and he's like, I got some time on stage if you want it, like if you want to come do a set. And Feitelberg, no hesitation, he's like, I'm in, let's do it.
There was so much hesitation.
There was so much hesitation. There was so much hesitation. I was gonna throw you a bone. He was back and forth. John went to the bathroom. I say to Jackie and Paz, I was like, I don't think we should go. Like, I don't think he wants us there, but I think if we ask, do you want us to come? He won't tell us no. He'll say yes, but he doesn't mean it. So I think I'm just gonna leave. But I don't want to feel like I'm not supporting. I'm overthinking it. He's overthinking it. Eventually he's like, fuck it, I'll do it.
Because I forgot my notebook.
Well, that's the problem.
So
John, you have your notebook everywhere you go. You have your notebook.
It's in my pocket on Love Is Blind set. Didn't have it in my pocket. Last night I was walking out of the hotel. I was downstairs in the lobby. I got down a little early, and I was like, I felt my pockets, did like the pocket tap, and I was like, I forgot my notebook. And then I caught myself and was like, hey, John, why don't you fucking relax? No one's going to be begging you to get on stage tonight. And that's the only time I've ever needed the notebook in my entire life. I've had it with me for 5 years. That was the only time I ever needed it.
I mean, kind of the perfect story, though, because it was like time to man up, nut up.
Yeah.
And so not only does he agree to go, which already I give him props for, because it's so easy to say no to everything in life, you know? Like, that's not going to make or break your career. We were all having a beer, hanging out with Steve. He's so, like, you know, could have just been a chill night. But you've always been like a say yes guy. So you say yes and you do it, which is already impressive enough. Then we hop in an Uber. We go over there. We walk into this CrossFit gym, and they give him, I'm not kidding you, 60 seconds notice. Turner comes over and goes, can you believe this fucking guy? I told him he could go up on stage, and he said no. And he was like, no. I said, yes, I'll do it. And he goes, oh, you did? Okay. All right, you're going up right now. Literally, as John said, I said I would do it. The girl who's up there is like, all right, that's my time. Thank you so much. And John, they yell to the host, like, John Feitelberg's coming up next. And my man rolled up there, zero hesitation, zero nerves, did 8.5 minutes of real fucking stand-up comedy, dude.
It's like he like transformed. Like it was like just John, and then it was crazy.
It was great, dude. I hesitate to even say. I was like, I'm so proud of John, and I don't even want to say proud because it just feels it's like I don't know. I said it about like my kids. You're not like
I'm essentially.
I'm just like so happy that you're doing it, but like this whole time that you've been doing stand up, and it's been very very brief so far, but just the fact that you chose to do it. Are doing it for real. I was like, that's so good that, he's like spreading his wings and doing something new and expanding and just, like I said, like saying yes is awesome. Last night, though, that was the first time I was ever like, oh, wait a minute. This guy's a stand-up comedian. Like, I think there is, I'm not just saying this, there is like every chance that you have a stand-up career. And not that I doubted that, but that material last night, on a whim, no book, no prep, the jokes, the punchlines, the way you delivered it, all of it, I was like, oh shit. If any of our friends who are like lifelong comics did an 8 to 10 minute set that was like that, it got as many laughs as those guys do. The delivery was on point. The punchline that you used to close your set in LA was a fucking killer. I was
even
like
think
jaw
about that
on the
part.
floor, man. Like jaw on the floor. I've been on stage with you before, but like it's never felt like that. I know
actually thought,
you're
like-
probably gonna downplay this, but that was fucking so impressive, dude.
I thought this sucks for you because now, like, you realize it's kind of like what I say about singing the blues, like realizing that you're good at the blues. Like now you've come too far. Now you realize you're actually good about this, and now you have to like chase a whole career in stand-up comedy.
that kind of sucks, John. That kind of sucks, bro.
Such a long road ahead of you, but like you can't turn back now. Like
Yeah, that sucks.
you
dude.
like are actually a natural. So I don't know. That sucks too.
Bro, you just put so much more work on your plate.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fun. I like it. It's fun. I enjoy doing it.
On Pavs and I, that's a lot of work on our plate, like scheduling wise, getting the like. This is for all of us. This sucks.
You fucked up. You fucked up our lives a little bit.
Well, Jackie, you know what John really fucked up is his financial situation. His bank account is this is quite the adventure for you financially, John.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. No, I'm losing a lot.
This is so fucking funny. I love this. This angle is unbelievable. Listen to this, Jackie.
Because I'm very new to this. So when I do shows, I'm paid as an opener.
Yeah.
Which is like $100. And I don't like traveling like an opener anymore. so dude, when I did shows in Austin, I think I ended up losing $6,000 that weekend.
Because you did first class.
Yeah,
You fly
and
first class,
stayed in
you
a
get the
nice
nice
hotel, and I was
hotel.
like, I'm not like, look, when
You're
most
not Paul Brown.
most people when they're again, not that they're like at that stage of like, yeah, I'm gonna try this out and do some opening. Like, you're 21, you're excited to like pack into the back of a Camry and share a room at a Holiday Inn. I'm not doing that shit. So if I decide to try this, I could very well end up bankrupt, like pretty quickly.
The only man to have like a successful stand-up career and lose money in this era is going to be John Feitelberg, which is so fitting.
I
It's
mean,
gonna
that would be
like,
perfect.
you know,
That
just
would
add
be
it to the
perfect.
list.
Well, good thing Out of Order's making so much money.
Yeah, I am having the most fun I've had in my career in a long time. I am also spiraling into debt.
Hemorrhaging money.
Like I am the iceberg. I have the Titanic. I have hit the iceberg, and we are just leaking money.
Did you feel good though? Like I thought that was so. I remember as you walked off, I was like, that was so good that even Feitelberg, who is gonna talk badly about himself and downplay himself always, self-deprecating humor, all that shit, even he's gonna be like, that felt good.
I will be 100% honest with you. I think that was one of my worst shows.
No way!
I'm in the room. I heard people laughing and all that stuff, but just like from my own self, like I know I missed a few lines. I know I flubbed a few lines.
Well, bro, if that's your bad work, I said to we were out with this guy from WME, Nate, and I was like, I don't know, either people have been lying about how hard stand-up comedy is, or my boy is a fucking prodigy because he just stepped up and did it no problem. And I mean, of course, I don't want to oversell it too much. I'm not saying you're up there, you know, Shane Gillis style or anything, but for someone who's only done it 5-6 times, the comfort level and the laughs you were getting and like the execution. You know what I love the most too? Is like I've heard you do some of that material, so it was like, you know, work stuff that you worked on, but like you worked in stuff that we just saw and talked about walking into the, like you were confident enough to just like throw some new material in there, all with no notice. I don't know, man. I think you should be feeling good.
No, I don't. Like, I'm not trying to like play like the shy little. Like I thought it went well, but I do think it was one of my worst shows. But it was fun to do. It was a rush. It was all that stuff. Like when we left, actually, we got in the car and we left, and we were driving like a half hour back to the Improv, and like I felt the blood in my legs stop tingling. You know what I mean? Like, and it was like, that was the end of it. And I was like, whew, that was a good high for a minute there. Like,
Yeah, but that's
like,
also probably why you didn't like, I don't think you realized the laughs and what was going on. I think you were probably just like working on adrenaline and just going. But
Yeah.
because I was nervous as fuck. You know, I was like, oh no, what if like this is not the the best setup to succeed. And
But
so
like,
was
I mean, I think, I don't know if it's because I'm older now or whatever, but like, I don't not get nervous, but I don't get nervous either because I'm like, what's the worst that happens? They don't think it's funny? Okay.
yeah. Well, that's where we were born in the darkness, bro. Molded by it. These guys only adopted the darkness. We've been getting hate on the internet for fucking 20 years, man.
Yeah, we were saying that before. We're like, a lot of comedians are like, well, bombing is tough, and not that they're saying it's tough as in like it's, well, no, I guess they are. But they're saying like, it's different on the internet versus in person. And I agree. I think it's much worse on the internet.
Yeah, like in person,
what?
there's far less people. It ends, and you go home, and maybe you think about it. The internet, it's like 10x the amount of people, more than that, like 100x the amount of people, and they constantly barrage hit you with a barrage for like 48 hours of hate.
It's in your pocket at all times. Every time you open it, you see it.
Yeah.
Like that's like, I don't know. I'm going to this room. I'm gonna try and be funny. If they don't think it's funny, it's also like I've said it before. I'm like, I've heard other people laugh at it. So unless this room is a bunch of fucking weirdos, they're probably gonna laugh at it too.
I do not have this mindset. I do not do well with just like any kind of projection, or you know what I mean. Like I would not have that in me.
I think you.
No,
would.
I wouldn't, dude. I still like if we were to do podcasts, I always got nervous on stage. I was shaking and sweating, and that was something we did like a million times before. And I had you as a safety net and voicemails and all this material to get through it. If I was just up there solo dolo with a mic right now, I would be. I don't know how you do it, man. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you very much. I'm so happy this is happening through a wall.
yeah.
He's
It's actually
better at taking
I'll be
photos,
honest.
though.
I'm kind of liking this whole vibe.
Yeah.
We might have to put up a wall in the studio.
Yeah, do you guys have this whole thing copywritten? I imagine you do. But if not,
You can't have a copyright on walls. Come on.
They got. I don't know if that's the proper legal term. Patented, maybe something along those lines. They probably do.
By the way, one of my favorite little tidbits resurfacing again right now because of the Chiefs. How Pat Riley has a patent on the word three-peat.
Really?
One of the
Damn, I
all-time
just said
best business moves ever. He patented it back when the Bulls were first doing their first three-peat. And so theoretically, I don't know how this actually works, but I'm pretty sure, every piece of merch that says three-peat and all that sort of shit, there's money going in Pat Riley's pocket. I think they said like there's going to be like billions of dollars worth of merch sold. And, he stands to make like $100 million if like, XYZ amount of it says three-peat.
Still not giving Jimmy Butler that contract. To finish off last night, after the show, we went back to the Improv, saw Steve Fury murder, saw a few other comedians murder. Then we saw Kirk Fox.
Bro.
Who
religious experience.
Put on a show unlike anything I've ever seen.
Truly, though. Truly. Like that's not an exaggeration.
It was the funniest fucking thing. I mean, we were in. At times I thought we were being rude in a comedy club, and the rudeness was stemming from us laughing too much and too loudly, which is weird that even crossed my mind.
I was feeling weird about it.
But I was like,
Jackie started to do she had a little bit of the dragon noise was coming. A little bit of the was coming out.
Dude, he is. I know Kirk's work from Parks and Rec, from Jury Duty. There's plenty of other things, but I'd never seen him do any kind of stand-up at all before. That was so fucking funny. It was insane. And that's a nice, you're like, oh, great job. Nice set, John. And then you go watch that, and you're like, this is fucking...
Well, right. I guess so. I mean, that's where...
His was like...
There's levels, man.
Yeah, but in his... I just like haven't really seen that in stand-up comedy that much. I feel like it's like punchline. But his is just like drawn out. Like, keep hitting it. Draw it out. Which makes it so funny and like... It was so funny because you were just like, how is he still going?
He's still going every time. It's very hard to describe, and I bet if you even watched this set on like YouTube or on your TV, you'd be like, all right, whatever. But in person, it was so unique and so weird. I was so impressed by that. I was like,
I think what you just said is so important. And I think if I can give myself a little credit, I say it a lot. You gotta be in the room.
Got it.
And not that I haven't watched Kirk out of the room, so I don't know for sure. But in that room, the tension that there was so. It made everything so.
bro, when he was
funny.
talking about the amount of footage of rope you need to tie up 7 people in Colombia? Like it's just, there's so many funny comedians who do like great observational humor, and it's like, who can make the best joke about the thing going on in the news today? And that's like 90% of most comics, And then there's a guy who's just like, I don't even know where your brain comes from, bro. You are not a fucking human. You are from outer space.
We talked to him for like 20 minutes after the show, and then we get in the Uber afterwards, and you guys are like, what did he have to say? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I even just talked to Kirk Fox. Like, I think I can't. It's like, if you're listening to this, you obviously are aware of KB and Nick. Like, even more, Nick I think is a little more normal. KB, it's actually, both of them nowadays I don't think of as this, but when they first came on the scene, when you first were talking to them at Barstool, you were like, are these guys fucking with me? Are they running game on me? Like, what is happening? And that's how it was talking to Kirk for like 20 minutes. I was like, because he was just being so nice and so genuine, but also I was like, but there's no way he's being this nice and this genuine. It was a very awesome experience where I was like he gave me his phone number. I'm still.
This was Jackie. How crazy was this?
What?
One of the weirdest things John has ever done. He was just convinced that Kirk Fox gave him a fake phone number.
Yeah.
I still am. I haven't texted him yet, but I'm going to text him after the show.
Why would someone do that?
I don't know.
That's so
I don't know. Maybe it's because I've just seen his comedy, and now I'm like, there's no way he's talking to me. Why is he talking to me? And I still am like, I got Google. He gave me the phone number. And I got in the Uber and I Googled 213 area code. It is Los Angeles, so that's a point.
You are his phone number, dude. You know what's so funny is this reminds me. There's like the biggest bag I ever fumbled was in college. There's this guy, and he was funny in the sense where he would just whenever I was laughing at something, he would just draw it out until I'd be crying tears. He literally so funny to me. And he was obsessed with me. He was locked in on me, and he was hot and everything. But I couldn't figure out why he liked me. I was like, "What the fuck is why is he choosing me?"
What's wrong with you two?
What?
What's wrong with you two?
I know. I was like, "Why would he like me over my friends?" Which is so sad to say. And so
That's
I
the most
completely
pathetic thing I've ever
self-sabotage.
heard.
Why would you like old pepperoni dips?
Hey, no more I don't have pepperoni nips anymore for the Netflix team that's listening.
I would still like to be on this show.
Yeah, to be clear, very normal nips now. But what was I gonna say? But anyways, my friends were like, "Get it fucking together.
Yeah.
He likes you." Now, I couldn't get it together. I just kept self-sabotaging it. Now he's dating this really beautiful girl. They're definitely getting married, and yeah. What?
You blew it. You could have had, a Kirk Fox in your life.
I know. Anyway, so we both blew.
We both dropped it.
Yeah.
Now we're stuck with Kevin on the other side of this pod.
Well, listen, we have. I talked to Jackie.
What? Sorry.
I talked to Jackie about this the other day, and as long as she's still game, I think we're gonna do our own little version with Jackie, a little Love Is Blind action. I want the Netflix people to do it. I would love to put you in the real pods, but if not, I think we got to have some suitors come through Barstool, and you have to talk to them blind. Maybe you'll find your love that way.
I don't trust you guys though. I feel like you're just gonna put Frank.
Would we ever steer you wrong?
I know. That was a thing. I heard that.
Yeah. No. We. Well, here's the deal. You'd have some diamonds in the rough.
But there'd be a lot of rough.
There'd be
a lot of rough.
It would be what do they have it TPC Sawgrass or whatever they call it? The I don't know. There's some golf person is going screaming into their car right now. But one of the golf courses has
I know what you're talking about.
the very long, whatever. I botched that one.
I think it's called the tall grass, bro.
No, but there's one particular course that has
okay.
really, really long.
Well, you botched it.
Yeah.
You did. You botched it.
Yeah, no, and we don't have any service, so I can't.
Pull the ripcord.
Check
It's
my
over.
phone.
It's over. The reference is done.
No, that was see, you couldn't see me. I was bringing up my phone so I could check the time. 10 minutes.
10 minutes left. Perfect time.
All right, the final scene in episode 6 of Love Is Blind leaves you with a cliffhanger as we finish up the first batch of season 8. It is between Taylor and Daniel, where Taylor has this sneaking suspicion that Daniel has already followed her on Instagram prior to this whole season. So he's in the pods and he's bringing up all these things they have in common, and he seems to know a lot about her, and there's all these crazy coincidences. And she said as soon as the the thing lifted and I saw you, I had this pit in my stomach being like, I already know this guy, which would be a crazy move to secretly know who you're talking to on Love is Blind and not reveal that and bring up all these things that, oh my God, I can't believe we have all this in common. It's like, yeah, well, that's because I stalked you already and I knew it and I'm bringing it up on purpose. That would be nuts. Now, this guy Daniel is very, like, he was not very convincing initially that he didn't follow her, but it certainly gets dicey in the coming episodes. One of the weirder things we've ever seen on Love is Blind, where they basically broke the fourth wall. Producers came out, they gave her back her phone. It gets absolutely wild. So check it out. Taylor versus Daniel. I want to know who you think is in the right and who's in the wrong on this one. It's the final scene of the first 6 episodes of this Love is Blind season 8 to round out things before we go to the villas and bring them back to real life. So check it out. Season 8 of Love is Blind, available on Netflix now.
Well, it's actually funny you brought up like not knowing like being real, acting real and weird, because this is something I noticed when we checked in and then Pabs brought it up. I think hotel concierge people are the weirdest fucking people on the planet Earth. And
I heard you guys talking about this. I don't know what you're talking about.
Bro, they are so over the top bizarre. And I don't know if it was maybe just this hotel, because Pabs noticed it too. Like, you're just there to check in and be like, here you go, man. Here's your key. You're on the 7th floor. Good? Cool. That's it. That's all that really needs to happen. And instead, it was like, Mr. Clancy, here's your card. And they like presented it to me like it was glass and it was gonna break. And they were like, now we have bottles of water. When you finish them, you can refill the water bottles. Do you have any questions for me? Here, I'm gonna need you to sign this. It's just, everything is so
all of those things are so normal.
No.
You just described them handing your room key.
That's
you
what
about
I mean.
The waters that are free.
It should be normal. It should just be like, here's your room key, man. But it's so effusive and like you're just treating me like I'm like the fucking king and queen of the world. And it's like, just give me the fucking key, man. Everything is, they have to get so sick of being that phony and like blah, blah, blah to everybody. I would hate that gig.
I wouldn't like it, but I the way you guys are saying it, it makes me think it turns you off. And like, I wouldn't say it turns me on, but it's just like
I hope not, you little creep. you little fucking kinky fucker.
It's like Patrick, if your kink is like, I got nut.
If your kink is hotel concierge treating you nicely, you've got issues.
I'll be honest. Now that I'm getting older, my kink might be people treating me nicely. I'm like kind of kidding, but also not like someone just being nice to me.
Well, Lord knows we don't get enough of that anywhere else.
Yeah.
That and the other thing I've just got to get off my chest. I don't know if I can just put it on Lyft or if it's ride shares in general. If you say you're a fucking XL car, you better be extra goddamn large. Okay? It better be large and extra than that, okay? We got a XL today that had it didn't even have a bench seat, so it had 2 people in the back seat. And then we fold down the other stuff to put our luggage in, and the guy goes, "Oh, well, this isn't gonna fit, man." And we're like, "Yeah, we know. That's why we got a fucking XL, dude." And he was like, "Well, you know, what are you gonna do?" I was like, "Well, we're gonna have to get another car. That's what we're gonna goddamn do."
That was, it can be frustrating, particularly when we're on the road, because there's 4 of us, we're carrying bags and shit like that. Like, we were on a tight schedule today. We had to be here by 11. We had the Uber on time. Guy shows up fucking 3 seats for us. It's like, what does the XL button do then?
Wait, also, can we talk about our Uber driver last night?
Oh, yeah, we had such luck with our Uber. Just a full-blown, drunk-driving, shit-faced driver last night.
I get drunk Uber drivers pretty often.
Yeah.
Like
this guy, he thought roads that were completely open were closed. He was like, "Why is the GPS taking me this way? It's closed." It was just construction. He could have gone. He ends up doing a U-turn, going through back roads. But
slurring his words the whole time.
Doing the full stop at stop signs, which we all know. When you do the full stop, is because, you know, we've all been there before, okay? But what did Feits What did you say? You were.
I was talking to Kirk.
Right.
And how like he was so nice and
He
I
was
was
just opening up so much.
very taken aback by that. And the guy just chimed in with like, I forget what he said, but it was like he put a vacuum into the car.
Because
like, just sucked the air.
you said, you were like, I don't know why Kirk was being so like polite and so like talkative. He was just like telling me all this stuff. And the guy goes, I've been out here for a while, like driving like some famous people around. Some people just get off on like giving information, and maybe he was just like, he wanted to give information, bro. And the whole car was like,
That's why I'd be like, well, I don't even know what the fuck to say to that.
it went so fucking dead quiet. I was like, shut up, drunkie, just get us home.
Dude, that was like the Uber driver I had in Austin who was so drunk. This woman who was just hammered, and I was in my own head like trying to talk myself down. Like, John, you're being a little stereotypical about the Southern accent right now. She's not drunk. She's just a Southern woman. and then we get out of the car. I was with Nick. And Nick was like, that one was shit-faced. And I was like, all right, I thought so too. He goes, no, I don't think so. When you ran into the store, she just told me. She just told me she's been at a brewery all day. And I was like, oh, all right.
We got a couple minutes left here, so we'll wrap up with I hesitate. I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment and recency bias or whatever. I think that the Luca Doncic trade was a where were you when moment. I think I will never forget that moment.
I am gonna agree with you. I think I'm just gonna agree with you.
I think so. I think so. I don't. It doesn't have the same implications as some other sports moments because it was just like, I don't know, these two teams will move on and we'll see what happens. But it was so ridiculous. I had just opened my phone literally as the tweet went up. I remember seeing like it said like 7 seconds when the tweet had gone up, and I said, "That's not real. That's like that's fake." And then I thought it was a fake Shams account where you change the letter by one thing or whatever. And then the first reply was Shams got hacked, and it was so. And that's nobody's ever been hacked like that. That's not real. But I was like, that's what it must be. And I remember thinking to myself, that's a very bizarre thing to do, is hack someone's phone and say that Luca Doncic has been traded for Anthony Davis on a first-round pick. And that's how ridiculous it was that I thought every other version, it's fake, it's hacked, whatever, before I arrived at it's just a thing that actually happened.
I think I'm trying to think of, so many sports moments you just remember because you're watching it or you're there. Like it's like roster moves are the bigger ones. Like where were you then? Because like most of them, like where were you? I was on the couch watching the fucking game.
Yeah. The fact that we're here is so unique too.
Like I would have Kobe dying 1
on the plane to the Super Bowl.
On the plane to the Super Bowl. Gotta tell everybody. Andrew Luck retiring 2. I was also on a plane for that one. I was on a plane coming back from.
I don't remember that at all.
It was I believe it was week 0 of the college football season. I was coming back from Orlando because I went to. It was like one of those remember when we used to travel around and do like Bud Light tailgates or whatever. I had gone to the Florida game for week 0, and I was on the flight back from that. And then this might be 3.
I have no recollection of Andrew Luck, but this is way up there. Jackie was like trying to keep up with it, and we must have looked so dramatic and ridiculous the way we were acting.
But then the way that you guys described it, I was like, oh, okay, that is.
Yeah, I said it would be like if Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, forget about the drama going on, if like an it couple out of nowhere broke up, and then the girl started dating some like random jamoke, and she was like, oh my god, this is a big deal.
Dude, yeah. The Blake Lively, I had something to say about them. The like gossip and people talking is one thing. Like whatever. Obviously, we're all going to do that no matter what. Them releasing statements like twice a week each.
Crazy.
If those were your friends, if you had like, let's say Jackie and Kevin, you guys get in a fight. Kevin, one day you come tell me about how it started. The next day, Jackie, you come tell me about it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, I'm getting the gist. The next day, Kevin, you come tell me again, and then Jackie comes tells me again the next day. I go, hey, how about this? You two go sort it out and come back.
Yeah.
Like if in any real like friendship, you wouldn't deal with that with your friends.
No, personally,
why don't
I'm
they
invested.
just shut the hell up? But no, again, like you being invested is different. Like they're mega celebrities. It's gossip. That makes sense. Them releasing statements every day is insane.
Well, I'll tell you what, dude. Baldoni's lawyer is the fucking Terminator. That guy's scary.
Yeah.
He's not fucking around. And they just made a website, dude. They just dropped a website for this, which is crazy. It's called thelawsuitinfo.com. And it has 168 pages of all of their text messages just proving how much Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds were like, you're the best. We love you. You're amazing. This is so great.
It's all damning stuff too. Like I'm.
But then in a week, Blake Lively.
Yeah, I know. I don't trust anything anymore.
Yeah, but that's the thing. This is like
Everyone's
25% legal like lawsuit and 75% PR, and he is killing the PR game right now. Motherfuckers hate Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds now.
I don't know what to think of it all.
I mean, I hate Justin Baldoni with a passion, but I think there's very few people in the world who can just understand hating someone but thinking that they're in the right. Like, I don't like him. He's a sleazeball, but I think everything that's kind of come to light. People are talking about metadata, John, proving that the text that the New York Times put in their website came months before the lawsuit, and the New York Times said, well, the only reason we had these texts was because it was public knowledge, so that's proving that the New York Times was colluding with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. I mean, this goes deep, dude. Candace Owens has made her whole career about this now.
Really?
She's doing, like, videos daily, being like,
Ugh.
this, attacking them. It's not what you want in your life. Even if it did happen, like, just call it off because Candace Owens is now gonna fucking, hunt you down the whole time.
The court case isn't even until 2026, so there's no point in even like talking about it.
Wow. I
You know what
didn't
court case is coming back is the Idaho murders.
Oh, yeah?
I think
Just
that's
a heads
soon.
up, we got a minute.
Well,
Okay.
in that case, John,
I'll end it on that note.
I'm a little nervous, but this is something I've wanted to do for a long time now, man. We've been together for a long time, and talking to you through the wall, I really got to know who you are, and I'm down on one knee over here, John.
And then you can face it.
John, will you?
I tried to make a surprise.
Yeah, that was good. I'm thinking about that.
John or Jackie, one of you two, will you marry
No,
me?
I get it. I'm full rejection for me. Clearly you have your pick. So I'll go fuck off. First of all,
I'm in, baby. I'm in. I'm doing a cowabunga sign, which I think is really when you propose to someone, that's what you're hoping to get back.
I think they usually go, let's go, baby, let's go. Love is blind. Let's go.
All right, well, I'll go fuck myself.
I'll go fuck Kevin.
I'm gonna put my shoes back on now. I did this whole thing barefoot, guys.
I
do
didn't
we.
do the whole thing. I did about half of it.
Oh, cool. We
Yeah, I
all did
kicked them
that.
off.
Huh?
I got cozy.